This is Conversations with a Gender Therapist Q&A, where a gender therapist answers questions from those who are transgender, non-binary, gender questioning, as well as those who love them. I'm your host, Dara Hoffman-Fox, licensed professional counselor. Let's get on to today's question. The question that Emma poses is, how do people determine their need to go on hormone replacement therapy and or transition? This is a question that I know a lot of people wonder about. Sometimes it's the biggest question of all. After somebody figures out that they do have gender dysphoria, or they are transgender, or that they're trans, however they phrase it, basically the discomfort that they feel from their assigned gender at birth is so significant that they are beginning to consider transition, which could possibly include hormone replacement therapy. So I developed a tool, and you can find this tool in my book, but I also created like a several page tool for you to use that you can download from my website. So what is this tool? Well, basically, it takes you through the steps of looking more closely at your gender dysphoria. So for those of you who maybe you're a little new to this still, gender dysphoria is that feeling that you would have that is that discomfort. It could be on a scale of 1 to 10, something that's very mild or something very intense, that you would have between your assigned gender at birth and how you truly feel inside regarding your gender. So this handout, this tool, takes you through 3 different stages. You look at your physical discomfort, you look at your social discomfort, and then you look at your mental discomfort. And what I do is I ask you different questions to think about to get you to be able to rank. It's not on a scale of 1 to 10, but actually it is. I'm looking at it right now. But really it's based on, different faces. Like there's a face that looks really angry or sad or in pain. That would be the 10 when it comes to how much discomfort you experience. And then there's the 1, which is just like, somebody who looks like they're pretty chill. I think it's important to look at gender dysphoria on these different levels because everybody's going to be different when it comes to how intense they feel when it comes to these different the different ways they experience their gender, and it gives you a way to be able to look at this so it's less overwhelming and you can just sort of piece it apart one bit at a time to look at how you feel. So that is my hope is that is something that can help everybody out there be able to at least take that step to start going deep within and asking yourself some hard questions. And then as a result, when you see on this chart, let's say you have scored yourself really high on physical discomfort. That means that the gender you were assigned at birth, which is also like the sex you were assigned at birth, is so different than how you actually feel physically. That might be an indication to you that you would then consider hormone replacement therapy as an option. If that hormone replacement therapy could then help your body, your physical body, feel and look more like the gender identity you truly feel inside, that would be something that could at least get you to that point of saying, you know what, there's a real possibility that could help me feel better. There's other things to consider, of course, when it comes to that, is looking into what the cost is. Does your insurance cover it or not? Something else to consider would be there are some, let's say, results of hormone replacement therapy that you may want, and other results you may not want so much. For instance, there's some clients I've worked with where they do want to start hormone replacement therapy, specifically testosterone, and they do want to have deepening of voice. They do want to be able to grow facial hair, but they don't want the hair on top of their head to end up being like a receding hairline eventually. There's a chance that could happen. Or maybe they don't want to develop a lot of body hair. it's one of those things where you have to weigh out both the positives and the negatives that would come from it and decide whether or not it would be worth it. Sometimes these answers don't come right away. In fact, oftentimes they don't. Sometimes this is something that you investigate, you look at, you think about it, you talk to other people about it, you think about it some more, you talk about more people, you go to counseling. Eventually, you'll get to an answer, and then you'll kind of sit with that answer, you'll sit with it, and you might change your mind, you'll go back and forth. At some point, hopefully, you get to a point where you do feel like, okay, I got it now. Like, I'm pretty solid that this is what's going on. I have rarely met somebody who's 100% sure that they want to start hormone replacement therapy and that's exactly what they need to do. When I say that, I mean that it's something where starting hormone replacement therapy is the first step many people take in their physical transition. Not everyone. Some people take other steps. And again, some people don't even do any medical steps for transition. But I'm just saying from my experience, oftentimes HRT is one of the first medical steps taken. It's something that is going to then eventually, people are going to notice changes, and it does sort of, jumpstart that. So it's a big step to take. It's like a commitment to transitioning. Sure, of course, you can stop taking hormone replacement therapy, but in my experience, most of my clients have not. And if they did stop, it's only because they either did not have access to their hormones or funding to be able to pay for their hormones. So when it comes to being able to make that choice, make that decision, I'm sure the bottom line that I'm trying to get across to you is that it is complex and it's difficult. So the simpler you can make it, the better. Try to work through this tool that I'm going to provide to you and see what you come up with in those answers. And specifically when it comes to, I mentioned physical discomfort, but hormone replacement therapy is also going to create harmony when it comes to your mental and emotional state as well. And so that is something to consider when it comes to your thoughts. It's something almost like you can't imagine what it's like, what kind of changes will happen to you inside. It's just one of those things. And maybe if you've heard other stories of people online, you've heard them say, I had no idea that is how much discomfort I felt until I started hormone therapy. Then I was like, oh my gosh, this is so much different. Again, everybody's experience is different with it, but there'll be at least somewhat of a change that will hopefully bring you into more alignment with your true gender identity. And also I mentioned socially, you're going to fill out on this tool socially how much discomfort do you experience. Now, sometimes starting hormone replacement therapy can help with the social aspects in terms of if you are tired of being misgendered, that possibly after you've been on hormones for a while, you might begin to be seen as the gender that you truly are. And again, I keep saying possibly because results may vary. It's going to be different from person to person depending on how puberty ended up hitting you. Because more than likely the puberty you went through was the puberty that, at least to a certain extent, you were not meant to go through. So those are really the nuts and bolts of it. Of course, this is a topic that I could write another whole book about it, and maybe I will. But for now, again, here's how you get that tool. You go to darahoffmanfox.com. There's a box that pops up for you to subscribe to my newsletter, and because you gave me your email address, that's how you get this tool. And if you already have your name on my email address list, then go ahead to the contact me part of my website, send me a message, give me your email address, let me know that you're already on my list and you just want to go ahead and be sent this tool that I'm talking to you about. So thank you for your question, Emma. I enjoyed answering that, and I hope that was able to benefit quite a few of you out there. I also thought it'd be a good idea that if you have any more thoughts to share, why don't you go ahead and put them in the YouTube comments. I'm sure Emma and many others would love to hear what your thoughts and your perspective is on this question. And If you have a question you would like to submit, the easiest way for me to gather those I have found is through my Conversations with a Gender Therapist Facebook page. So every Wednesday, go to that page. If you haven't liked it yet, go ahead and like it, and probably go ahead and set notifications as well in case you forget to check on Wednesdays. I'll ask for any questions and then you can put them in the comments below. I will get to as many as I can. I actually have a nice little list already going, but please go ahead and put them in there, and I'm going to try to get to as many as I can. Thanks a lot for watching. Talk to you again soon. You can find more information and resources at darahoffmanfox.com. That's DARAHOFFMANFOX.com.